Namaste. Ayu-Chintana. Let's grow learning Ayurveda together. Laye sambodhayet chittam vikshiptam shamayet punaha. Sakashayam vijaniyat samapraptam na chalayet. When the mind is in a state of dullness, stimulate and awaken it. When the awakened mind thus becomes turbulent, calm it down. In the process, recognize the dirt that surfaced. When the mind reaches a state of equanimity, do not disturb it further. Today, the topic of discussion is effect of mental chanting of a few Bijaksharas on the five fingers. And for this, I would like to welcome Dr. Chinmayananda A, Assistant Professor, Electronics and Communications Engineering Department, IIT Dharwad. He is working on Indian knowledge systems and artificial intelligence. Welcome to you, sir.
Thank you, Kanaka.
Sir, I would like to know what is mental chanting?
Okay, so mental chanting or japa in general, according to Yoga Sutra, which says Tajjapaha Tadartha Bhavanam.
Okay.
So when you have a mantra and you are trying to do its japa, it means that you are trying to concentrate on the meaning of the mantra or the bhavana of the mantra,
Okay.
and that itself is japa. Or in other words, even when you talk about mantra itself, it is called mananat trayate mantra, which means that which uplifts you based on the contemplation of the mantra or the set of letters or hymns is known as mantra, and that itself is japa.
Okay.
So, repetitive chanting of hymns or mantras, which is known as japa, is a common practice across all religions to connect with the divine.
Okay.
It has also been used as a healing method in many ancient civilizations, including ours. So, this practice is documented in Ayurveda and is a part of a therapeutic approach called Daiva-vyapashraya Chikitsa.
Okay. Sir, I would like to know, are there any levels to perform japa?
Yes, definitely. So, Japa is described as being practiced in the following three levels of increasing mental complexity. So, the first level is known as Vachika Japa, which means where the mouth is actively engaged. So, you are trying to chant the mantra aloud so that at least you can hear. Okay, so there is a movement of the parts like tongue and teeth, and basically your vocal tract is an action. The second level is known as upamshu, uh, which is where the lips and the tongue move very subtly.
Okay.
Okay, so that is upamshu. So we are not at all chanting aloud. It would look like a whisper uh, at the most. So you just have your lips and tongue moving. So that is upamshu. And the
Okay.
third one being manasa japa, which is entirely mental. So you don't see your lips or tongue moving. So it is purely at the level of thoughts where you are concentrating on the meaning of the mantra. That is the highest level.
Okay. So in current study, what we are trying to understand today is we would be trying to do the third one, that is Manasa Japa, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sir, is there any way of proving the effect of repetitive chanting on psychophysical level?
Yeah, so many scientific studies have examined the effects of mantra chanting using EEG or fMRI and many other biomedical tools to measure the outcomes of chanting. However, these studies primarily capture the end results of chanting without uncovering the underlying psychophysiological mechanisms. So, the usual way they do is before chanting and after chanting, they'll try to measure the EEG waves or maybe take fMRI scans and then see what were the changes in the results obtained. And that's the way they try to quantify the effects. However, as I've already told you, these studies don't capture the mechanism behind the results. So the changes observed in EEG or fMRI are again not within the experiential domain. So you don't usually experience why it is happening because you are not concentrating on many other things that you must have concentrated upon,
Okay.
and it doesn't. These results don't fully reflect the subjective or objective experiences of the individuals engaged in the practice.
Okay.
So, what is another way to delve deep into this phenomena? As we usually see in any other scientific uh, effort, you try to investigate and explain a phenomena, usually using the components or parts of that phenomena. So usually you try to dissect a whole into its individual components and try to analyze both the parts as well as the relations between the different parts in
Hmm.
such a way that they build up to the whole. For
Okay.
example, if you take matter,
Hmm.
so matter is understood by studying its molecules, which are
Okay.
the component parts. And similarly, molecules are again broken down into atoms and maybe the valence bonds between the atoms which form a molecule, and so on and so forth. So you start dissecting things and try to study the atomic components. In a similar way, if you think of mantra as a set of letters, okay, a sequence of letters, a more logical or scientific way to understand the mechanism behind a mantra would be first try to understand the effect of each single letter, okay, and how it is affecting us at the psychophysical level. So this will help us build the understanding of the mechanism behind chanting a mantra and then seeing the particular results that are usually told about in the Shastras.
Okay, so what I understand from your perspective is that whatever event that happens, it would have all the physical, chemical, and biological dimensions. And to check that biological dimension, we need to have more of a subjective experience than just with the laboratory investigations.
Yes, yes.
Okay, I am very curious now. So, can you teach us how to examine the effects of Bijaksharas, sir?
Yeah, so today we'll be concentrating on five Bijaksharas.
Okay,
Bijaksharas are nothing but any aksharas or letters of the alphabet. So today we'll be concentrating on five letters. One is H,
H,
Y,
Y,
and R,
R,
then V,
V,
and L.
L.
Okay. So these five aksharas will concentrate.
Okay,
So I'll provide instructions
okay,
to recognize the effects of chanting.
okay,
So this experiment should be done in a very controlled fashion because there are so many known and unknown confounding factors which could influence our observations.
right.
Okay. So the first thing is you need to join the tips of the corresponding fingers of both the hands in this
Okay,
fashion.
like this.
So we are not joining the entire fingers in this way, but in this way.
Hmm.
So the fingers are not in contact all across the length of the fingers.
Okay.
Only at the tips they are
Hmm.
in contact.
Hmm.
And again, the different fingers are far apart. This is not a necessity, but if you want to quickly experience the effect, this is a better setup. Okay.
Okay.
One more thing that you need to maintain is that you should not put so much of pressure at the fingertips.
Okay.
Don't press the fingertips uh, at loggerheads.
Hmm.
Okay, so just see to it that they are in uh, uh, contact without any pressure.
Okay.
And the first thing that you try to do is without any thoughts, I mean, without just feel relaxed. Don't have any other thoughts in your mind. See to it that your body is also relaxed and there are no ailments in your body.
Hmm.
There's no pain in your body and you are completely relaxed. Just try to concentrate on the tip of the individual fingers and try to see where there is maximum pulsation.
Okay.
Okay. Sometimes you might find that there is some pulsation in some fingers and no pulsation or very feeble pulsation in some other fingers. Uh, for some people, it might be very difficult to observe this phenomenon because it's a very subtle pulsatile motion
Correct.
at the tip of the fingers. So one way to start observing is, if you are not able to observe all the
Hmm.
five fingers at the same time,
Okay.
start with individual fingers.
Okay.
Again, you might not find any pulsation at the fingertips of certain fingers, but surely you will find some pulsation at one of the five fingers at least.
Okay. So,
One
what is the purpose here that there should not be much of, like the pressure should not be given at the fingertips. So, what would happen if there is more pressure at the fingertips?
Yeah, so since, as I told you, the pulsations are very subtle in nature, that might be killed
Okay.
if you're not attentive enough,
Yes.
or if your concentration power is not that much,
Okay.
you might not be able to see the pulsations
Okay.
very clearly.
Okay.
So it should be a gentle contact, not very uh, rough and tough or filled with pressure.
Okay.
Again, one more caution is that you should not mentally penetrate the fingertips completely.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, there is a chance that when you start entering or mentally entering one fingertip, you might suddenly see a increased pulsation at that fingertip, which is sort
A
of
false positive
false
result it will
false
be.
signal. So you
Okay.
should not try to do that.
Okay.
Rather, you try to just mentally touch the tip of the fingertip and see what is happening.
Okay. Okay.
So when you are in this configuration, when all the fingers are in contact with their tips, okay, you would rather go in a round robin fashion, just concentrating on the fingertip for a moment, and
Ah.
then jumping to the next finger, so on
Okay.
and so forth.
Okay. Okay.
So that is a better way of observing the effect.
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
So the first thing that you need to do is just hold your hand in this configuration,
Hmm.
and without any thought, without
Okay.
even chanting any letter mentally,
Hmm.
try to see where is the maximum pulsation across the five fingers.
Okay, so what I should do at the first is close my eyes and just take a deep breath and then calm
Yes,
myself down such that all the body parts are in their equilibrium and there is no pain in the body. Then I'll start observing one finger at a time with not much pressure at my fingertips.
yes,
Okay,
yes. So you can start checking which finger has the maximum pulsation. Then
okay,
probably you can even remove that finger in this fashion. Let us say the maximum pulsation is in the middle finger. You can remove that and then try to find the next maximum pulsation, so on and so forth. So
huh,
you can probably see get an order in terms of which finger is having the highest
huh,
pulsation, the
okay.
next highest pulsation, so on and so forth.
Okay, so you say
Without
that for any Bijakshara, if I chant mentally, there could be two or more fingers which could be pulsatile, but one would be the maximum and other would come down in the order.
yes,
Ah,
yes.
okay.
That is the thing that we are expecting. So do this. Start without any Bijakshara chanting
Correct.
mentally.
Okay.
So if you were to tell it aloud, it would look like, let's say for her, it would be ha 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 ha.
Okay.
Okay. Just do it for at least maybe 1 to 2 minutes.
Hmm.
Uh, some of you who are not able to find any pulsation, you might have to slowly build this process starting from one finger,
Hmm.
and you
Hmm.
might
Hmm.
have to concentrate for a little bit more duration of time
Hmm.
while you are mentally chanting
Right.
the letters, and then you try to see if there is any change in the location of the maximum pulsation finger.
Okay. Okay. So a laser sharp focus would only be possible with a repetitive practice. So unless
Yes.
and until that is achieved, so we will not be able to see which finger is actually pulsating or which is more or which is less.
Yes. So probably the thing is, you can sometimes you can leave the fingertips of certain fingers
Huh.
and then try. I mean, do a sort of trial and error experiment
Right.
to get
Right.
the right finger.
Okay, okay, okay. So whatever is the metabolism that is going inside the body would be a reflection in the fingertips at last. So I have to
Yes.
stay
Yes.
calm to see what is the thing that I can sense from the fingertips.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, okay. Sir, this is a very great thing to know, and I hope I can experience that there is a subtle connection with regards to the repetitive mental chanting and sensation at the fingertips. I would want to know more about the theoretical underpinnings for the same.
Okay. So the key takeaway, at least from this video, should
Yes,
be that whenever you do mental chanting, or even the Upamshu, or even the Vachika Japa,
correct.
you should be able to see the effect. The reason why we are saying mental chanting is that even though there is no physical motion of body parts, you should be able to appreciate that even a mental thought, in
Okay.
terms of the sounds of the letters, have noticeable effect on the on at least some specific parts of the body. In this case, it is we are concentrating on fingers, but in general, you could have noticeable effects. When I say noticeable, again, it depends on how good you are able to concentrate on different body parts. So there are some noticeable effects on at least the five fingers as of now. Uh, Coming to the underpinnings, theoretical underpinnings of this phenomena, we'll take that up in the subsequent videos, where we'll explore the Panchabhuta Siddhanta and related stuff from tantras and
Yes, 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 definitely.
other stuff.
Okay, okay. So there's a lot of connection to understand between the fingertips, the origin of the body, or whatever the Ayurveda has to say about it, and the tantras have to say about the same matter. I'm very,
Yes.
very much curious, but yeah, we have to stay until the next video. Viewers, in the description below, we have actually provided a link to the Google form to record your observations while chanting the Bijaksharas, which can be used for further analysis in subsequent videos. We look forward for your active participation, and I wholeheartedly thank Dr. Chinmay for joining us today and for giving insights on Japa and its effects on psychosomatic levels. Thank you very much, sir. It was a pleasure having you on our channel and learning about Japa and its techniques, what can be explored more about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Anagha. Just one more thing to add,
Yes.
that whenever you are trying to do this, the best time to practice this is the Brahmi Muhurta, or the mornings whenever you are
Ah,
fresh,
right, right.
because there are a lot many confounding factors, as I have already
Yes,
told you.
yes, yes, yes.
So you start in the Brahmi Muhurta, and probably as you are able to concentrate on the fingertips, you can do it at any duration, or part of your day and night.
Okay.
Okay, in any situation, you'll be
Mm-hmm.
able to see the effects.
Okay, so the
So
best
thank you
time
again.
to practice is that at Brahmi Muhurta, and then we can, as we notice the changes, or as we can notice the sensations at the fingertips, we can do it at an other
Yes,
time as well, suitable time.
yes,
Okay, thank you, sir. We look forward for the next video.
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.